going to pull the lift blocks out of the back of the Tundra today. I just got to get this thing sitting right. The front has 2 inches less wheel clearance than the rear, so we are going to drop the 3-inch lift blocks out of the back, and that'll get this thing tuned up and a little bit more level. Obviously it's on the driveway, so you can just see that thing's got quite a rake to it, but I don't really want that. So hopefully this will go pretty quick and simple and without tragedy, but I am going to start prepping to take these lift blocks out. Just moving you with me. All right. So I jacked up on the leaf, and I'm going to try to drop the U-bolts down to lower the axle so I can get the spacer out. Hopefully that's easy enough. Try to jack it up and see what happens here. Things are happening. The leaf seems pretty pinched, but hopefully, this thing pops out of here. Probably just got to get the U-bolts all the way out, and then it should, hopefully it's just getting pinched like this. If I get the U-bolts out and up, it'll pull on it. I just imagine I've got some weight. Since I'm disconnecting now, the axle weight, it was compressing the leaf. So now that I'm getting it apart and slowly, so nothing catastrophic happens, maybe I should chock the other front wheel too. Let's chock the other front wheel so nobody gets crushed here. Which car? This is my 2002 Tundra that I've been building for the last 6 months or so. I blew it up, and then now I'm making it into a pre-runner. I'll show you the whole thing in a little bit. It's got like 8-inch wide body fiberglass fenders and a front end with the conversion to a 2020. Hey, what's good? Let's keep going. Alright, that's off. Now that should just be kind of sitting on there. It's pinned in for alignment. Just trying not to put my hands between anything. There we go. Apparently Rough Country uses a nice angled, so you keep your pinion angle correct. Angled block. It's a pretty heavy cast steel. Make a hammer out of that thing. Alright, so when we're lowering this back down, we will have to lower it down, align the pin on the leaf to the alignment hole on the axle. Hopefully it doesn't fight us too much. We're going to bring her down slow. Wish me luck. Keep going. We are getting close. I'm wondering if, because I have that side up high, if it's kind of tweaking me here, but I can put the U-bolts back in and have the block, so at least I'm kind of held tight here. Then we'll take that one out if the angle's too severe to get it lined up. That might work. When in doubt, hammer it out. Seems close. Ow. All right. I'm gonna end up having to cut these long U-bolts down, but I figure let's get everything sitting right, see how it looks before we go to cutting things that we can't undo. Oh, I'm missing a washer. It's under the jack. I guess it lives there right now. We'll run on 3 for the time being. Just run those up kind of close. Oh, found the nut, but the washer's under the jack. A little crusty. Lower the jack down and see what happens. I'll leave you under here. I'm going to get out for safety. I should be a great car mechanic. That would be nice. I'm not changing the rear end. I'm just taking out the lift blocks. This truck had a rough country lift in it, and since we're going to go more of a pre-runner, we're gonna take the lift blocks out, and we're gonna end up doing the rear suspension more proper in the future. But for the time being, we're just gonna get these out, get this truck sitting right. I'm building a front suspension right now, full long travel, so I will get that front suspension in first. The rear can run leafs, and but yeah, let's get these spacers out first. One down. Try to get that side lined up. We'll switch the camera over, and we'll get working on the other one. That might have lined up on its own. Sure did. Sweet. For those of you that want to see the truck, this is it. 02 Tundra. 2020 bedside fiberglass with the big dovetail cut so we get more clearance in the back. 2020 front end. I just painted this a few weeks ago. There's a whole video on the channel. I did all 6 colors right here in the driveway. 2020 front end. I built the pre-runner bumper. That's in an older video too. And yeah, let's keep going. We're gonna get the other one. I might have to cut these U-bolts to get rid of the real crusty spot, but one thing at a time. Let's work on getting the other one out first. Looks legit. Thanks, I've been trying. So we're gonna get that leaf out now. We'll start taking the U-bolt nuts off, get those loose, then we'll jack up on the leaf just like we did on the other side. Ugh. I'm telling you, you could make a hammer out of these things. All right, let's jack up on it. It would be easier to have a lift, that's for sure. I seem to spend a lot of time barefoot in the driveway. My garage is like only big enough for my tools. So between tools and weightlifting stuff and just whatever for the house, the garage is full. So everything gets done out here. I do have an extra lot that I'm planning to put a shop up next to the house, hopefully next year. But we can dream. We'll see what'll happen. All right, let's knock this puppy loose. Got another one out. All right, we're gonna lower this down, try to line up the pin on the leaf spring to the pocket on the rear end. Try to get that side down. We'll get the U-bolts back on. We'll start tightening this thing up, and I have one more bracket to take off right there before we get out from under this thing. Slow and steady. Check the alignment on the pin. Looks kind of close. I'm going to have to tap some things around. There we go. That should be it. Put a little more pressure down. Wonderful. It aligned good. So that means get this on. Where's my hammer? Hammer. That was loud. So, get our washers on and our nuts. Oh, that's being stubborn. Hey, my truck's lower. Lifted first gen Avalanche with cat eyes, it's pretty cool. All right, so before I pulled the blocks, the truck was even with my shoulder. I'm 6'3", I'm telling you that's too high for a pre-runner. So now it seems to have a much more even stance. It's not sitting on its own legs right now. That's way better. Yeah. Let's keep going. The U-bolts are being a little bit of a pain. They're just crusty. But I'm sure we will win that game. Might just have to run the bolt nut back and forth a couple times. I'll spray this side that we were fighting with. Compressor needs a break to catch up. Yeah, they were crusty from being inside that bracket. Now that I'm shortening them up, I sprayed them with some oil and then I wire brushed them, and they're going right now. But my compressor's just having a hard time keeping up because this impact blows through the air. But we're getting there. I'll run these up and then I will cut off the U-bolts, the extended extra, and then we'll get this thing cinched up nice and tight. and yeah, it'll be set up. And you have a chicken. Might just be hot. Floppy waddle. You wanna help, Frizz? I'm dirty. Yeah.
Poop on it. Oh, are you recording?
Yeah, we're live.
Oh.
We got chickens helping with trucks.
This is Miss Frizzle.
Alright, think the compressor will do now? Not enough air, I know. We're getting there. Compressor's almost caught up.
How's your blanket?
It's okay, it's a little less spiky than the
I
concrete.
thought so. You can unfold it and make it longer.
I'm gonna have to take it out when I start grinding. I gotta cut off these bolts after I get them.
You can ruin it. You can ruin it. Got a lot of speed.
More wire brushing. Close. Really close. The chicken's name is Frizz, or like Miss Frizzle in Match School Bus back in the day. Yeah, we want to see your truck. Send it to me on Instagram. So close.
How's your umbrella? You want the other one on the other side?
I'm gonna be under here most of it.
We're gonna get one of those.
Canopies?
Yeah, whatever it's called.
Yeah, canopy be nice.
What do you need?
Huh?
What do you need?
The air compressor to catch up?
Oh,
A bigger spare tire?
should have traded a better way for the compressor.
Negotiated better.
How far along are you?
Almost done.
And then what?
And then what? Once I have these all cinched up, I just gotta cut the ends of the bolts off because they're gonna hang down lower.
What are you gonna use for that?
My grinder. And then
Do you
Then I just have to take this bracket off.
Want beer? Are you gonna have your drink?
I'll finish this.
Love you.
You going in?
I got nothing else to do.
You don't want to listen to this?
What? Why would I give the opportunity to listen to that?
Love you. Ugh. Let's save some time. I'll cut the other side off while the air compressor's catching its breath. I'm gonna shower myself in sparks. I'm sure of it. one side done. Ugh. Ratchet and sockets, bro. I know. I'm being a little lazy today. It's really close. It's just all this rusty dust and sand on the bolt. Threads are actually not too scary. Got another one in. Close at least. Ratchet has see, lazy. gonna cut these ones off, tighten it, and we're almost done under here. Assuming you can hear me. Alright, now we just gotta trim those to the final size. Cinch it up. Well then, that was something. Just got attacked by the umbrella. Whew. No more grinding. Ugh. Get these out. I'm not touching any of the studs for a while. Let them get a good cooling. All right. Looks like I need a... That's a grade 8. That's interesting. Looks like you need a 12.5 inch. Come on, why don't you come join me? There's some sort of a proportioning valve or something that when the rear end cycles, it hooks up to the brake lines for some reason. I'm not 100% sure on the engineering of that, but the rough country lift that we're taking out had this spacer here, so we are gonna put that back to its original position. Toyota's a 12. Rough country in their just wonderful wisdom decided that they were going to use standard thread bolts on part of the lift, and then I also have to use the Toyota metric bolts. So I have metric and standard, 4 inches from each other. It's lovely. Ooh. There's nuts on the back of that. Really? Maybe it's just threaded. All right. I really have no idea why you would have something for the rear or for the brakes hooked to the rear end. Might be like for the, if your rear brakes lock, if you're diving really hard, it'll change the proportioning on the brakes. Like if the rear end lowered because your front end was on pushing down hard, it pushes more to the front, possibly. I don't know, I'm not an engineer. All right, now I gotta grab a 1/2 inch, I think. Yeah. Now we just gotta see if my impact's got enough juice. Oh, apparently I need a deep socket for the back. No. And I actually put the correct socket on. I lost the socket. Let's try that again. Get that back to factory positioning. See if the impact will run it in. And tighten it so we don't break them off, because they are only 8mm threads. Watch me break it off by hand. All right. I think we're done under here. You guys want to see the truck again? I gotta tell you, doing all that grinding with my shirt off, probably not the best idea. I'm just like covered in metal shavings and grime and dirt and grinder wheel. But it's hot in Florida. Pardon my spinning in circles. All right. I gotta say, it just feels more dialed. I'm gonna flip you around. All right. Before it was just so high in the rear. Now it's a little more streamlined. It might even be just a tad lower in the rear. But I think lowering it down and tightening up this clearance right here looks a lot more planted. And having it lower just makes it look even wider. Painted the chrome mirror caps trim black today because I kept getting complaints. 6 months ago, this truck was blown up and nobody had much to comment then, but I get it painted. I do all this fiberglass on it. I rebuild a junkyard motor and put it in, get it running, driving all over, build a long travel front suspension for it currently. And you know what people are worried about? Chrome mirrors. I don't understand that. Yeah, that's better. Probably have to aim my headlights now that my rear end's 3 inches down compared to what it was, so I'm not blinding people with the projectors. Flip us back. But yeah, I call that success. Hour and 15 minutes to take out the rear lift. Not fast, but I was struggling with some of those crusty U-bolts. But I got everything in shape now. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for everybody that commented and thumbs up. I have a whole build series on the channel. I started out with this thing as like a $2,000 truck, crusty, and then drove it for a few years, blew it up, and now I've done all of this. So it doesn't look like a crusty 02 anymore. Looks like a spiced up to 02. But all right, thanks for watching. Peace. Check out the channel. See ya.